washer and dryer. She avoided the temptation to replay one of their childhood games where she would pull the curtain and run. Instead, she slipped quietly past the shower and sat down in the kitchen to wait. Dirty dishes sat soaking in the sink. The pine floors needed a good scrub. His wife used to try to keep the place clean despite the years of dirt that had been ground in, but she had left him. Katy wasn't even sure how long ago. Limp white curtains covering the discolored panes of glass over the sink hid the best part of the day. A schedule stuck in a nail had names and dates scratched beside them, for crop dusting, she guessed. She saw phone numbers tacked up to a stickboard by the phone and a picture propped on the window ledge with a nice-looking woman who had her arms around him. Katy didn't recognize her, but she might not recognize Sam either. It had been a while. Katy heard him turn off the shower. He walked in with a towel around his waist, dripping water in puddles that pooled on the uneven hardwood. Their family had been blessed with heads of thick hair, and his was still wavy but heavily salt and pepper now. They all had the Irish blue eyes. He had a mustache with a nicely cropped short beard. She liked it. He still stood tall and straight and hadn't let beer or barbecue ruin his solid figure. Sam walked to the sink, ran a glass under the tap for water, and turned to see her sitting in the chair at the table. "Christ!" he jumped. He twisted the towel a bit tighter around his waist, and his face lit up like a firecracker. "Sis, you scared me to death. You're early." "Yup." "Wait." He took giant steps back to the dryer. "Let me go put on some jeans." He kept talking to her from the adjacent room. "How long you been sitting out there?" "About 10 minutes, that's all." "You couldn't have done some dishes while you was there?" "Not hardly." She smiled and tried to remember why she had waited so long to come back. It was mostly because Sam and Hank didn't get along. Hank refused to make the trip after he got back from his long hauls, and he wouldn't let her and the kids go without him. The few phone calls she made allowed her to stay in touch. "So, Hank finally got himself in jail. You ain't sorry, are you?" "Sorry about what he did to get there. I'll get a divorce." "Well, that's been too long in coming. Should have left his sorry ass years ago." "I guess that's what all the exes say about one another." She felt the tension draining out of her back. What had happened to her that she left this family she loved and let herself be isolated in a town not more than 2 hours away? Sam came out of the laundry room, this time in clean jeans and a t-shirt for that new Panthers team they were hyping out of Charlotte. He swooped her up in his arms. "Give me a hug, darling. After all those years with that SOB, and look at you. You're still about the prettiest little sis a guy could have." She returned his embrace and then looked up into his face. Either he was taller or she had shrunk. When had he gotten a full head above her? "It's been tough," she said. "Why didn't you call me sooner?" "I tried for days. No answer." "Sorry about that. Away on a job. I tried to call you. Your phone was disconnected." "I had a mess of crank phone calls, plus Hank's brother Ray. He won't leave me alone," Katy said. "What's he want?" "Threatening to take the kids from me." "He's full of shit. He can't do that." Sam opened the refrigerator door and pulled out a can of Bud. "I've been meeting with a social worker since April. She seems to think things have been cleared." He offered a second can to her, but Katy shook her head. "I should have pulled Savannah and Dusty out of school and just moved right away," she said. "Savannah?" One side of his mouth curled up in thoughtful reflection. "Let's see if I can remember." She saved him the embarrassment. "She's a coming-up senior now. 17. Pretty and smart, too." "I'll bet. Just like her mama," he said. "No."